A long, long time ago, something really curious happened deep below the surface of the earth that would change geological and geographical history for good. In the middle of the Pacific Ocean, what geologists call a hotspot started to develop. Now, hotspot is just this area near the Earth's core that starts to warm up to excessive temperatures, upwards of 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And so this particular hotspot, way back in the day, started to heat up the next outer layer of Earth, which is called the mantle. You're getting a fifth grade geology lesson here, so welcome to church. The area around the core is called the mantle, and it's full of rock, of solid rock. And this mantle started to heat up and it rose, and eventually it met the Earth's crust. And at the Earth's crust, magma started to form, this liquid that we know. And then that magma worked its way through the crust to the seafloor and it started to cool. And then, piling on top of itself over and over and over many years, it actually broke the surface of the ocean. And the result of this process looks like this. The picturesque views of Hawaii that fill our screensavers and our Insta stories and our honeymoon photo albums, it began as fiery brimstone and carbon dioxide, expanding and consuming up and up to the surface until it produced that magnificent island. And so what we learn here is this, that heat produces beauty. It produces fertile soil where life and fruit can start to grow. And similarly, Scripture uses metaphors describing hell not to stoke fiery retribution from a vengeful God, but to spark fiery redemption from a restoring God. To do that in our world today. Hell is a hot spot, warming our rocky hearts and creating something new and beautiful within. And so to my deconstructors, I can't answer all of your questions about who goes where and how it all works. God hasn't given me that permission. He hasn't given any of us that permission. And thank God, God hasn't. Because none of us are perfectly just and merciful. The mechanics are in the hands of the only one who should have them. Instead of giving us the exact details, God actually puts all of us on a need-to-know basis. And what we need to know is this: that true, abundant, free, peace-filled, tall glass of water in the Phoenix summer sort of life is found in Jesus. Jesus himself mentions hell in this story in order to lead us to that sort of life. Jesus himself conquers death and hell so that we might be free to live. And this life he points us to is a life marked by the freeing of all of those who are captive to their oppressors. It's the removal of all debts and burdens. It's the wiping away of all tears of mourning. It's joy and peace and patience and kindness and goodness and gentleness and self-control. It's the approval of an eternal God who loves and cherishes us. It's the chain-breaking, freedom-waking, cosmos-quaking love and grace of a God who wants to see all things restored to their full goodness. And this love and grace is available to us right now, to experience ourselves and to share with the world. That's the whole point. Heaven and hell aren't these eternal escape routes disconnected from our lives here and now. They're continuations of what has already begun. Scriptures say the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Jesus has initiated it. We can participate in the kingdom of heaven right now by knowing Jesus. And so the wrong way sign of hell is only there to point us to the right way. And now, the ball is in our court. Will we choose to see hell as a place of fiery punishment created by an angry, retributive God? Or will we see hell as a means to heaven's end, pointing us to submit to Jesus and the life we've been made for? The choice is ours, just as it was the rich man's. For heaven's sake, how the hell will we respond?